I don't know. You're live now. Welcome
Okay.
to Prison Yard TV. We've been on here for 10 minutes, and I don't know what happened, but we're live now. I'm here with Rob Dog Supa Cuz from East Coast Crip, one of the first non-black Crips to ever hit a mainline yard. I was there 3 years before he hit the yard. I met this individual. I'm going to let him introduce himself now. We just went over content right now. We got to redo it again.
It's all good. We reboot.
We had to reboot Rob Dog. So we're on here live now. If you haven't already hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And this is Supa Cuz from East Coast Crip Stockton.
Nice to meet you, everybody. Formerly known as Rob Dog. I had to let Rob Dog go, though. Rob Dog had to become somebody else. That's how Supa Cuz came into being. By the name, you might think that Supa Cuz is the banging hardhead, but no, it's not. It's the opposite. Rob Dog had to go somewhere because Rob Dog couldn't let shit go. And if you can't let shit go in today's day and age, you're going to, for one, stress yourself into dying and probably put yourself in the penitentiary first. So, we here to talk about me and your walk through all the prison systems.
Yeah, you know, you got wiser way before I did. I got a 15-year sentence in 2009 for real estate fraud. As you know, I was in the music industry with my bro T.
Absolutely.
But we're gonna get into that. But I want to talk about DVI Gladiator School when you hit the yard. Was it 92?
93.
93 when you hit the yard. I was the first person there that was a Crip, and for 3 years. So I had a lot of fights there before you got there with Southsiders and Northerners, and a lot of viewers don't understand that concept because nowadays we can't go in the prison system and fight a Northerner, or Southerner, or a white boy one-on-one. But when we was raised in DVI, we could fight Northerners, white boys, Crips, and we didn't have to worry about the whole car jumping on us. Now it's a full-fledged riot.
No, you could definitely had hooked up a fade and to keep the riot from happening before.
Yes.
That is the truth. Everything wasn't necessarily, it was more warrior minded. Let me just call it how I feel about it. It was more warrior minded than mass riot type situation where it benefits nobody, really, to be honest.
But our walk, we paved the way, bro. And I don't like taking the credit for that, but I think that right now, today, because I just left New Folsom 2017, and there was white boy Crips and Bloods there from all over, from neighborhood, from East Coast, and I was like, damn, where was you guys at in 1989? but you had a good run, and you made it. You paved the way for a lot of white boy Crips and Bloods, bro. And your name still rings in the pen. I want to let you know, when I was there, your name still comes up on these level 4 yards. And they don't know you, and I didn't speak on you, but they know what you've been through and what other East Coast Crips talked about you. I know a lot of your homies from down south. But we got a question on the screen right there. Do you want to answer that question?
I can't see the question. Read me the question, bro. I ain't got my glasses. I'm old.
Supa Cuz, do you know my bro Ern from East Coast, Ernie Juarez?
Ern.
His name is Truly. And he's a Northerner from Stockton, bro. He's from Stockton.
He's from Stockton, and he's a Northerner.
This
I
dude
think
Truly,
I do know Ern. I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, now that you say it, because I was trying to picture a Crip named Ern, but yeah, I'm almost 100% sure that's the person I got in mind.
No, his cousin. He said, "You know my brother Ern from East Coast. His name is Ernie Juarez. He's from your neighborhood." But this guy that's asking the question, he's a Northerner from Stockton.
Ernie Juarez from
East Coast.
Yeah. Is he my age? I know two Erns. One's closer to my age, maybe 3-4 years younger than me, and then one's, I think, his son.
Okay, he said, yeah, he's a Crip, and it's his brother. Okay,
yes, I do.
Okay, yeah, he knows him truly. Truly, I'm gonna tap in with you and your girl later. So I want to get into when you first got there, you had an incident in the shower because when you first get to DVI, you know, being white or Mexican, either the Mexicans push up on you and your car has your back, or the whites push up on you and you had an incident in the shower in DVI.
Yeah, that's when I first got there and got introduced to the politics of it all. You know, cuz had, you know, not all of them, but you know, some of them like to talk too much, and he was one of them ones. And he got to yelling what he was gonna do, and he had his mouth open, and I seen an opportunity to stuff a bar of soap in his mouth, and I did, and cracked him and broke his shit up. And you know, it was a one shot thing, like a boop in a bop. And
I remember because Cologne was my boss, CO Cologne, and he came and told me.
Yeah, I slid cuz out the shower too. He got hit so hard, he hit the ground. He did the slide like a movie. So, you know, that was the warning. You know, the Tracy wasn't too bad as far as the reception center when I first got there. It really wasn't too bad. That was the only real incident I had the first time.
Yeah.
But when I came back on violations, then I'm gonna be honest, cuz when I cut my hair off, when the genetics cat caught up,
yeah,
and I cut the bald, I went bald. Then it was like they couldn't take it no more. I didn't have the braids. I don't know. Maybe they were telling themselves I was part black or something. I don't know what they were telling themselves, but it was a different. It was a different thing when I came in like this.
Yeah,
Cripped out, because in '99, they sent some big ass skinhead dude supposedly from Stockton.
Yeah.
Now they say they exist out here, and I'm not saying that they don't, but they quiet as hell. If they do wherever they at, they not something that's known. And at that time, I definitely had never heard of no shit like that in Stockton.
Yeah.
But cuz was huge. Cuz one of them Frankenstein dudes, like unnaturally big. He come to my cell, cuz this on my daughters. Nothing that I'm about to tell you, this on my daughters, not just my cripping. But I don't put nothing on nothing. He come to my door, he said, hey, you gotta roll it up. I turned around and was dying. I'm like, cuz you ain't heard who I, you don't know who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know who you are. You got to roll it up. I said, check this out, cuz. Step your ass in here. And he did.
Your door was open?
Yeah, the door was open. He was at the cell. They just cracked it to go. We was going to lunch, breakfast, or I think it was breakfast. Honestly, it was, matter of fact, it was breakfast. They just cracked it. My cellie had just walked out the door, and he come feel the whole. He had to duck his head to get in the cell, cuz on Crip. So when he came in, and I seen him slipping like that, he ducked down like he took his eyes off me. I put my foot in his chest and literally pushed him all the way back out the door with my foot, and said, "Cuz you ain't ready. Don't come back in here." And he came back in there, and I bopped him. My cellie said I had him look like Mike Tyson Punch Out. Because he was on the tier. He said every time you hit him, cuz his head will pop back out the door, and he'd run back in, and then you just hear boop, bop, bap, and he'd come back out the door. Bottom line, if he did hit me, I ain't had no more.
That was 1999?
90, yeah, I believe this was 99. This was my last one. This is the last joke I did. 99.
So you were still having to put it down with the whites in 1999.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. All time on Crip. This first time it happened really hard at Tracy though.
Yeah.
And so I put pause on cuz. So later that day we go to the yard, and again, there's 2 times in my life, cuz my grandpa's country boy teaching come back to save my ass, and that is to keep that motherfucking sun at your back. So them shadows get cast and you can see something coming from behind you. And I kept that in my head my whole life, especially on them yards. That every opportunity I could, I kept that sun where it was casting a shadow, and I could see shadows coming before they got to me. And it saved my ass 2 times.
That's a tactic we learned early on.
So
go ahead.
So then I had the shot caller apparently come. But he come up behind me, coward. He didn't even try to come get the fade. He come behind me, and I seen him and got around before he even got one off, and gave him the 2-piece and dropped him. Tom from 24th Street, Gordon Block Crip. Big shout out to Tom. He was up in there cheering like we was in the gladiator arenas. Cause beat his ass, Rob Dog. Beat his ass. Punk ass white boys. I can hear him still in my head. Every time Cuz got up, I put him down 3 times. Boo bop boo. The COs was letting it go because most of the COs knew me. This is my 4th time going through DVI. So
and when you're not black and you're claiming a black gang, we like stand out like sore thumbs. So
real talk. And to keep it real, I'm not gonna say their names. Both the officers was happened to be from Stockton and black. The COs. So I ain't gonna say no names, but you know, they let it they cuffed Cuz up and gave him the blues on the way too. Yeah. You know, so
my channel is geared towards, we're talking about prison incidences and how being this individual grew up, but my channel is to save kids, minors from going to prison and having to go through what we went through. We had a hard time in prison.
And that's what this all. Yeah, I forgot we had to do the reboot, and I got to say that again. Off top, the growth into me being a different individual, Supa Cuz, is all about trying to give y'all that. I'm not saying don't be from your neighborhoods. If you want to claim your neighborhood and that's what you want to do and that's in you, I understand that. However, there's other ways to do it, Cuz. Blood, Cuz, Thug, Norte, Southerner. Whatever the fuck you banging, there's other ways to rep your hood. And as a OG, I'm telling you, I'd much rather see my young homie, if he got it in him to be a writer, to jump in the MMA world, the boxing world, the wrestling world, the jiu-jitsu world. You got action at making money violently if you want to. Make a living at this shit. Rep the hood that way.
Yeah.
Rep the hood as a businessman. Get your own trucking shit.
Business,
whatever you do, but know this: there's more money made every motherfucking day. Trying to look out for your YouTube. There's more money made every day off soda pop and chips than it is dope. Every day there's more money on soda pop and chips. What I'm saying is, find your niche, dedicate to it, and get your bread. But it don't gotta be on the goddamn corner. It don't gotta be hustling in the game. It doesn't have to be. If that's what you totally really choose, you know, who am I to judge you? But I'm saying, I'm hoping, I'm praying and going out my way to build the bridge between us all to understand that, man, that system is just feeding the system that's got the foot on the neck on all of us.
I want to touch on something. So after your prison sentence, after you was done with prison,
yes, sir,
you got in the music industry. Everyone knows me from being in the music industry, me and my bro. So you had an album out, and you gave it to me at a storage in Stockton. And I was amazed because I seen you rap on a prison yard before on a bench hitting your chest and shit, but I didn't know you was capable of rapping, producing, and promoting your own album. And when I heard it, I'm like, man, this is quality shit. And I tried to really convince my bro, man, let's grab this dude. And I made you a promise. But the promise, I backslid on the promise. I ended up back in prison. And I haven't talked to you about this since. But you did give me your CD. I listened to it, and it was amazing. I also know that you touched shoulders with Ice Cube and some individuals down there. But how did you get into the music industry? You always like rap. How did you get in the music industry, and what inspired you to take your own money out of your pocket and produce your own album? Because I know how much it costs to get in that studio and then have your J cars done, have all your album covers done, and have them pressed up. So what made
it's a different game back then to what it is now. It's for sure. Honestly, because belief and faith in myself, the same thing that got me through prison, the same thing that gets me through now, is I'm Supa, and I believe that. I'm not the average person because I refuse to be that ever in my life. I've always been the unique, different person in any of the cliques or people that I've been around. And it took me a long time to totally embrace that fact. It really did. And it's been a hell of a journey. But I couldn't be the super that I am now without going through that journey. But back then, it was faith in myself when nobody else had it. I knew If the homies that was in my neighborhood making music would have put their money in me, I could have killed the game long time ago. I know that in my soul that I got the talent and possess it to do it. But nobody, a lot of times, cuz they'll never get past the skin tone. Cuz I wasn't famous until I went to prison and made myself famous as far as this gangster shit. Before I went to prison, half my neighborhood didn't even like me, and I ain't never hid that fact. Just a fact of life. And I got made rough by East Stockton, because in East Stockton they teach you to be scandalous, they teach you to be cutthroat, and you got to defend yourself from that at all times. And I've since high school, you ask anybody know me, I ain't never let nobody to my face just call me white boy Rob, even though some people refer me as that when I ain't around. In my face, you ain't finna call me none of that, because there ain't nothing endearing in that statement. That's like me taking a brother friend of mine and introducing him as Black Boy Whoopie Wop.
Yeah.
There's nothing endearing in that statement. I've been fighting and knocking teeth out, knocking noses sideways over that since I was a kid, earning my respect as far as I'm a nationality. If you want to call me something, I'm an Italian. If that's what you wanted to call me.
I knew that about you. I knew that about you.
Okay, but back to the music, cuz nobody believed in me but me. But the homie Peabody, shots out. Peabody blessed me, put me on his first album in '98, a classic album, Make It Happen. And he was taking me to the studio where I got to meet who are brothers with me to this day, the Underdo brothers, Dijon and T, Hallway Records, Hallway Empire now.
Shout out
definitely Hallway all day. That's why that album sounded as good as it did. They did the entire album. They did mixed, mastered. They've been doing they've got platinum hits across the board with numerous artists.
Yeah, I know.
So just so everybody else know, that's why my album sounded so good. But I got in there the first time with Peabody to do a song, and he told me to do the first verse, so I bust. And I'm on some Rob Dog shit busting. And when I bust, he said, "Cuz I can't even get on this album. You done made this motherfucker. This too rough for me. I'm Peabody. I can't even get on this." So he literally gave me the whole song. My first beat, Hallway song, was because Peabody had already had the beat and blessed me with that beat. And that's a song on the album called Raised as a Rider. And that's how it all got started. And my brothers have never charged me what was owed like they do others, because they love me. And they made me literally a piece of their family, man. It ain't nothing but love for them Hallway boys and their family, their mama Cookie, their sisters, them family to me. So the album I had, I wish I would have really did the music like I'm doing today, because a lot of the music that I do today that's party minded, I even had back then, but my mind wasn't right. My mind was still all banged out. It wasn't where it needed to be. So I did that album first because I always felt I had to prove myself even in my music. So my music was just super tough, if that makes any sense, instead of just allowing it to be good music.
Yeah. So before we get into my next question, Donald Slump, Rob Dog Loco, OG Vet Set is a Stockton classic. I bump it all the time, and I'm a Dom Mood. So when we make albums,
much love to the Blood Army. Oh, make love to the Blood Army. Give me money where I can wear a finger. Make sure he's seen it.
Hey, when we make music, well, when we was making music back in the days, we didn't really direct it to one set, one neighborhood. We wanted everybody to buy our music, so we did give shouts out to other neighborhoods and stuff. And that's a tactic. Even though we was Crips, we made music for Bloods, we made music for North A Serenos. But Donald Slump said he still bumps your album to this day. I wish I could bump it to this day, but I want to get into what you did after the music.
Well, I thank you to the homie. And after the music, I started with the Go For You Express. Like I was speaking before we got live, though. Yeah. I had Go For You Express on me. I was the first Uber. I was the first Instacart. I was doing that for years, but I was too ignorant and didn't get online and push it like I should have. I'd have been a millionaire back then off that. But I was already trying to do different shit as I was making the album. And I was running the block. That's when me and my brother Tallis had the block locked down. I made a lot of enemies in my own neighborhood because I locked the block down. If you wasn't getting money with us, ain't no standing on the corner making the block hot for our shit.
Yeah.
You know? But it was a crazy life. The whole album was literally wrote of the life I was leading at the time.
And that's what makes it so authentic. When I heard it, I knew this was an authentic album. Nowadays, you know, I did a segment about gang members becoming rappers and then rappers becoming gang members. And it's a whole nother light. And it's like
that's crazy.
That's going backwards. We trying to get where you guys at, and you guys are Lil Wayne, all these cats is coming backwards in life, and you got the bang on. It don't make sense.
Listen,
yeah,
this is one of my pet peeves right here. Listen, I hate this. If you got $100,000, you could be a tough guy because you got boys.
Yeah,
100,000. If you got $1 million, you can act tough as a motherfucker because you got crews that'll do something for you. If you got $100 million between your team, and then you start gangbanging, man, you need to question your sanctity. Yeah. And how did you earn your banging title? You bought it. I didn't know you could buy the title, bro. I didn't know you can buy on. I don't know. Some people might offer options and incentives or something. I don't know. Maybe that's what they're doing. Offers incentives to the banging, because that has never made sense to me. Ever. It will never make sense to me. Never.
So I want to get into we talked about it before, but your MMA career. I heard about it. I was just paroling, and I can't think of who told me about it. It might have been Mario M Dog from Northside.
Northside, much love. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, home," because me and Mario was in Wyatt together. He was like, "Hey, go fuck with Rob Dog out there. He's in MMA." And I smiled when he said it because I see you in the cage because I seen you fight, so I knew you could fight good. So how did that come about? How did you get into MMA? I know we discussed it before, but we're live now.
We got to recount. Bottom line is, this was say 2006. I started losing everything. The business I was just speaking on, Go For You Express, crashed around my helmet because I put myself sole proprietor. Taxes come back to rate me. Cars went to shit all of a sudden. You'd have thought somebody put a rook on me. I lost my house trying to rebuild my credit. Got literally frauded out my house. So I'm like bottom of the barrel again, cuz damn near like almost as bad as when I got home. Damn near as bad as when I first come home. I'm like really struggling, stressing in life. And I didn't want to just go back to being just Rob Dog, East Coast Crip. You know, I had come too far. I want that to be more to my legacy. I want that to be a piece of my legacy.
Yeah.
But not the end of my legacy. So what else can I do? And through my cousin Big MF, I had always had a little bit of plug into the MMA world. And he introduced me to who I call Sensei, Moses Cortez, still in the fight game. Look him up. Anybody wanting real hands, the man will have your hand game spectacular. All around MMA, but your hand game for sure. Muay Thai, boxing, Moses Cortez. So he took me under his wing. We had a spot. It was just meant to be right here on the east side, a mile from my house, in an old meat factory. So they called this the slaughterhouse. And that's how we trained. And I put the position in my life that it was this or back to the block. So I chose to hop in the world. I even had a couple homies. My little brother from the EC, E-Baby, he came train with us he stuck with it for a long time. Tallis jumped in the cage for my little brother from the hood. He came, you know, there was a few of us in there. We really dedicated to it. I took more backyard fights than I did legitimate fights because the backyard fights paid more. Just being honest, I can make probably 2, 3 times as much on a backyard scrap at some lawyer's house or some businessman house. I didn't ever really get to who it was. I had good friends, lawyers of mine that I met through fighting that case I was talking about in 2003. I fought a case and met Victoria Bossy and got her, and we hooked up. Man, they call her Vito. If y'all don't know, may she rest in peace, man. She died during this COVID unfortunate situation. But she'd hook me up, and we'd go to Malibu, Beverly Hills, fat spots. I'm fighting in fat spots and making decent money. Then I took a couple. I had 3 cage fights, and I went only won 1, lost 2. One though, cause on Crip on my daughter's the first cage fight I took, I ripped my rib cage muscle 14 days before the fight, and then broke my right foot, the top of it, 10 days before the fight, and I still took the fight. Went the second round. It was a war. Everybody loved it, but I lost. Took it on the chin. The bottom line on that was I love it. I'm a martial artist for life. If I have the pockets to just focus on things I want to do, that's what I do forever. I'll be a martial artist forever. But turning on what I do in these streets it didn't turn on for me the same in the cage, because I couldn't get past the sparring mind state. Like on the streets, there's that bit of fear. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. It puts you in a different mode. Everything super slows down for me. Every time a person's pulled a blade on me, I could tell you move for move exactly what happened, because everything slowed down.
Slow motion. I got the one in the arm, and sock cuz up, and he took off running. Old demon from north side. I had to put hands on cuz because we ain't tattletelling this, whatever. We ain't gonna get into that. But took another one in the gut, broke cuz down. He was in a coma for 3 days. I sold myself up because I was on parole for 3 more stinking months, and you already know what they was gonna do. You already know what they was gonna do if I went to the hospital. Yeah, automatically. So, cuz this is my mind state. I couldn't turn that kind of thing on in the cage because it's me, one person, a referee. You can never scare me. In other words, I could never get that fear like other people get that fear of, you're gonna get beat or anything can happen. You can't turn that on with me in no one-on-one fight if I know with it, in a situation like that. Because I done went through prisons where everybody hated me. Yeah.
Most of the Crips didn't like me because I'm putting them in a situation might be a riot over me.
Yeah.
Just facts. Fear and me know each other well, but I had to bury that shit a long time ago when it come to the physical scrapping and whatever else. Because I had no choice. So what I'm being honest and humble to say is I never was able to turn that same savage I am in these streets, in that kind of world, and transform it into the cage because I can never get that same fear in me.
Man,
I never got blessed to fight somebody I was mad at.
I was just enlightened by that whole segment you did, because I've had fights on the street, but it's nothing like when you're in prison and you have to save face or be a piece of shit. And you can't turn down nothing in prison. On the street, I had fights on the street, but it was nothing. I didn't have that anger on the street like I did in prison, because I've been jumped by 3 or 4 people in prison, but on the street, when a one-on-one fade, that's fun to me. A one-on-one fade on the street, we ain't got to worry about going to the hole. We ain't got to worry about nothing. So it's different. So I understand what you're saying, man. And I was really looking forward to go seeing you fight, man. Really, when I heard M-Dog tell me that, and
that was another thing. If I would have had a few homies that would have supported me, I would have definitely kept fighting, and I'd have made sure that I left a real legacy in that sport, because I was still young enough to learn to do better. You know what I mean? I'd have had to learn to make that difference up.
Yeah.
But when you fighting like even in the backyard fights, when I fought with the lawyers in spots like that, it's still a street fight. Yeah, a street fight, and you don't know what's gonna happen. You still have that. You don't know.
Yeah.
You know, you might beat cuz up, but his homie might be tripping. You might beat cuz up, and this girl just, you never know, shoot your ass. You never know, because you're in an environment like that. But in a controlled environment, in a ring, in a cage, and it's you, him, and a referee and all that can never inspire that same kind of thought process for me. The one time I was gonna fight somebody I was mad at, though, and I would have destroyed cuz, and that's why he magically, listen to me, cuz, he magically got hurt after the weigh-ins, but before the fights.
When you're supposed to relax.
Cuz hurt, threw his shoulder out or some shit. Cuz was built like Arnold Schwarzenegger, cuz, but he made the mistake, cuz when we weighed in, he wanted to pose way far away, but they want us for pictures and shit. This is what we do. We take pictures and shit. That's what we do. Yeah. We fighters. We're prize fighters. So I tell cuz, come over here. We're going to be close in the cage anyway. This motherfucker said, oh yeah, we're close enough to kiss. It took everybody on the stage to keep me off, cuz. On Crip, asked anybody who was there, Jackson Casino, anybody was there for that weigh-in. I forgot cuz sucker busted name, but asked everybody if it didn't take all the security, all the teams. I'm talking about 12, 13 people, me walking still forward to get my hands on cuz. Cuz fuck all the fighting and waiting to the next night. Yeah, I was going, man, he blew me a kiss, cuz. I was going, just thinking about that shit make me furious. Got my Gemini so hot right now. I need another. You never got to fight him. Huh? No, I never got. The punk said he hurt his shoulder before. He know what I was gonna do to him, cuz see, I'm emotional. I don't even usually get like this. I ain't too much in life make me get out of pocket like this right here. Ooh, y'all ain't supposed to see this part of my Gemini like that. My bad. Woo, but whoever cuz was, he's a buster. Still to this day, wherever you at, I'll take that fight right now with your buff Arnold Schwarzenegger ass. Right now.
What year was
it? If y'all find cuz used to chain in Jackson, I forgot his buster name. You all know, though. Real fight fans around here know who I'm talking about. He sucker buster. He was a sucker, but I ain't never got over that. I had to fight who ended up being my homie who got the first win over me in that first fight that I was talking about.
So you did it.
Big Mark. I ain't mad. Big Mark. I take my losses on the chin like I take all the many dozens of wins I got. You know. Okay, I'm back in pocket now. We can get back to questions. Ooh, I had to calm down.
So there's some questions on here. There's a question on here from Ronald Dixon, but I'm not going to read that question until we're done because we're not in here promoting anybody telling. I did post it for my viewers to see, but he's asking about someone wearing a wire or something. I don't want to even say his name and give him no clout, but I want to get into what you're doing now.
Wait. Not me doing nothing like that.
No.
Oh, okay, then yeah, okay, then I don't care. All right.
No, it ain't nothing to do with me and you. He's just asking.
Yeah, right. Okay. No, that's all I wanted to just make sure that I don't care.
Okay. So I want to get into what you're doing now with your life because we come from an era of getting money in the streets, however we get it, and then we my homie made a comment yesterday when I was interviewing him. The dope game, the music industry, and the book game is all intertwined with each other. That's how we got in the music industry back in 92. Mm-hmm. So when we're older now, in our 50s, we have to find something to keep us, our children, our grandchildren stable and out of jail and teach them how to do something different. And I've been watching you for 5 years now, and I've seen something that you're doing. And also I've seen people steal this from you because you was the first one that I ever seen start this Mary Jane Moonshine. Tell me
cannabis drinks, 420, the original 420 drinks.
Original. He's the first one that I ever seen.
Sure.
THC in a bottle. Now I go to these cannabis clubs and I see it all over, and I'm wondering why ain't his stuff in these damn cannabis clubs? Because he's
I'm waiting on the money to show up and say they're ready to partner up and do it like it's supposed to be done. Until then, it's private membership only.
Membership only. So what made you, I know you're very creative. What made you decide to put THC in a bottle where you could drink it and don't have to have your lungs all jacked up, man? What inspired you to start Mary Jane Moonshine?
I've been brewing since '99 on some personal shit. and for fight parties, football. I'm religious with football and MMA. So I threw a lot of parties and stuff when I bought my first house in '02, and we'd always party with that. But when I got into the MMA world, I won't take no pills or nothing, homie. And let's just say, it's a sore sport. You're gonna have sore muscles. You're gonna need something. And I'm not big on drinking liquor, so I was drinking my drinks, and I start making different ones. And then what gave me the idea to really take it to the masses was I went to a Cube and Dub C's video shoot in LA, and I took a bunch of gallons down there just to really, I was just for us. It was just for us to party with. But all the production team, because we was in some big ass, it was a high-rise building, like 6, 7, at least a bunch of stories, and like every story had 3 or 4 different sets, like to make it look like you was in a club, or another piece looked like a warehouse, another piece you go downstairs, it looked like a hospital. It's all for video shoots and shit.
I was there. I know exactly what you're talking about, right by the mall.
Right by the mall, exactly that one. Okay, so we in there. So we doing a lot of production teams there is what I'm saying. So they see us drinking these cups, they get the ass, and I ain't that goddamn friendly. So I ain't I run this for us. This for us. Then they get to offering money. Hi, I'm however a hustler. So I was selling little bitty cups, $5, and then it hit my brain, and I started. It was on from there. So I had some people line up and offer me. I walked away from $325,000 in Oregon because they tried to buy the whole thing. They pumped me up for a whole year. I got it tested, shelf life, all that, and then after a year, they was gonna put that into the business. That's what was the deal originally, and then they end up wanting to offer that to me to buy me out. So
never sell something you put your heart into, man. I learned that with one of my books.
Yeah.
So what is your Mary Jane Moonshine doing now? And how do my viewers get your Mary Jane Moonshine?
Well, because I'm personally, like I said, it's a membership only program right now. So they can't find me online at Facebook or IG, Mary Jane Moonshine. Look me up, Supa Cuz, SUPACUZZ. I pop right on up. You can get in my inbox. I can send, and we can go from there. I'll send out the forms to them, or if they got to where they can sign online. I forgot the name of that app, but it's everything with me is private. I'm a big, I get that'd be a whole nother show on me. I'm a sovereign, and I practice. We here under the Republic. I need to remind people of that. That's why they don't like to pledge allegiance in the schools. Really,
I seen that segment you did on that.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna take it all down that road because that ain't what you brought me for. But that walk in itself. Drop the phone, fumble. That walk in itself, roller coaster ride, like the rest of my life, man.
But you're passionate about it, right? You're very passionate about.
Oh, absolutely. Also, if you're local, you can find me at different pop-ups and events, and I offer the everything's there on site. You can.
So you do have product.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. I got the Mary Jane Moonshine. I got Bacon Wake 420 coffees. Mary Jane Moonsicles. They're like popsicles. Shoot that. Then I also got anybody who's into collectibles, comics, toys, action figures. I got a toy page on IG and Facebook called Toys Ancient to New.
So we're gonna talk offline more about that because I'm gonna give you a few legs up on that. I'm in different businesses, and
especially that too. And then, man, you need to come on over. Have you seen my loyalty over cash?
Yeah, sure. I have.
See, a lot of hustles is what I'm trying to say, everybody. It's a lot of things to be done, man. There's a lot of things to get out there and do. Try not to be as one-sided as rap music and movies to try to make it.
Yeah.
And I encourage book reading a book to change your world, man.
These movies and this rap is very influential, especially on my kids right now.
Oh my God, me too, cuz. That's what I've been doing more than anything. I'm a daddy, a proud husband and dad, and I 5 daughters. This is how life left.
Ooh.
Listen, that's how the dark life got back in my macking ass.
Your life is full right now with $5. No matter what they
$5 and a real and try to be a hands-on real father because I love my children. I had to change my life for my. That's another reason I jumped in the cage. It wasn't. I left that out and I shouldn't have. A lot of the reason why I had to make that change and not just go back to being Rob Dog Local was because I had 2 daughters by that time, and nothing meant more to me than them. I never thought I never thought I could be anything but an outlaw. It was through them that I found a way to be better. Because until then, you met me. Until then, I was the epitome of the outlaw. Always. I done did everything under the sun that's warrior minded. I ain't never raped nobody, never would, never will. That ain't gangster shit. I don't know how people put that out there like that's gangster. That is not gangster. No, it's not.
You say rape?
No. Yeah. Man, they got songs out there now where they just talking about it like it's cool and shit. Man, ain't nothing cool about that. I ain't with.
They glamorize. They glamorize drug use now, man. In our era, it wasn't cool. They had
I call it knock music, cuz they'd have been knocks to us. Yeah. They'd have been knocks to us. Yeah. This shit, oh man, I tell everybody, until I became Supa Cuz, you never seen me on no internet. Cause Supa Cuz is a different person. I'm doing different shit. I ain't in this shit to be a criminal. I ain't in this shit to build a criminal nothing. I'm in this shit to be an entrepreneur. I'm in this to be a bridge of many cultures, a bridge from one aspect of thinking to another without losing your warrior. You don't think you're soft because you want to decide to hop in a truck and make your money instead of stand on the corner. Don't think you soft because you want to be a businessman instead of sell dope. Don't think you soft because you didn't want to gangbang. Man, that's the wrong. They got that's thinking, because I know plenty of solid brothers of mine that never banged, never really was in these streets, but are real solid men, and I call on them before almost all my hood homies.
Yeah, me too. Hey, I gotta bring something up, man, because this has been discussed on several big YouTube platforms, and I get comments about this all the time.
Let's talk about
it. There's like 6 different channels, and they're kind of big. They're really big, actually, and you know, they're not active anymore. And people always get on here saying, if you got a YouTube channel, you're not active or not. But see, what me and him used to claim is Crip or Blood or Kumbi or Jama. And it's a different situation for Northerners and Southerners to have a YouTube channel. I've never been to a SNY yard. I've never been to a PC yard. I never dropped out. I go to my neighborhood all the time. So for people to get on here and say, if you got a YouTube channel, an Instagram, and you're discussing these things, this ain't to promote gang violence or any kind of prison antics. We've been through that. We're trying to save our kids now. We're grown men now. We're fathers, we're husbands, and we're on some grown man shit. So we're not dropouts. We're not degenerates. And we're on here discussing real life facts that we had went through in the prison system. And I want to get that clear with my viewers, Rob Dog. You left in good standings. I left in good standings. So for these people to make these comments, they need to do their homework about us, because there's a lot of derogatory comments that come online. And I let them show. I let the comments show, and I address them as they come. I'm not hiding from nothing.
Yeah. Well, because I learned this a long time ago in this elevation, and I'm still learning to do this because sometimes I flash. But there's nothing you could do to please everybody. Nothing. Now, as far as active, no, we're not active.
No.
As a matter of fact, I'm preaching against the active.
Me too.
Because I suffered enough for all these youngsters, as far as I'm concerned, and so is my other brothers. And if I got here to name in my rest in peace homies, we'd be here for another 5 minutes just doing that. So what we are, though, are from where we from. And nobody could take that from us, and nobody could take our walk from us. The lessons we learned and the lessons we're trying to give others. Give. We ain't charging you nothing. We're giving you this. Now, if you think we soft, and it's like I said to many people, man, I don't got nothing to prove to nobody, homie. But you get in my presence, and if you think I'm soft, try your luck.
Well, look, Donald Slump just said he got a comment on the screen. He said, Rob is a big dude for all those who never seen Cuz. He ain't the one you want to try your luck with on Bloods. Okay, so that's something that I think everyone from Northern California knows, Donald Slump. Anybody that's been in the prison system knows the name Rob Dog. He relinquished that name. He goes by Supa Cuz now. Like he says, he's on some grown man shit. And I'm here to really save our kids, but also to give him a platform because he does have 5 daughters. He does have this Mary Jane Moonshine out. He just gave you his Instagram, and I'm gonna help him try to promote it. I've been a promoter all my life.
That's what you have been. You are Mr. Get Money. I'll give you that. You are Mr. Get Money, cuz.
I don't like to give myself that title because I'm very humble now. And
I understand that. So I'm gonna give it to you for you.
Yeah, I'm here to help my friends out. And I have very little friends. Don't get it twisted. I have associates that I grew up with that I still don't talk to, but I got friends that are from my neighborhood that I do talk to. So I'm here to help my friends. I consider him a friend. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to make this Mary Jane Moonshine what it's supposed to be. Because this man deserves it. He paved the way for a lot of people in prison right now. And he's been out of prison, what, 23 years? 24 years?
22, I think. What's this?
Say that one day.
Yeah, 23. It'll be 23 come October.
That's my dream.
23 years come October.
And leave this world with a good head on my shoulder and with my kids safe and know they set for life. So what I'm trying to do now is give you guys this Mary Jane Moonshine. He gave you his Instagram. What I'm going to do is we're already over our time, 1 minute and 50 seconds. We're going to do a part 2 later on because he's a deep individual. We talk about surface stuff right now, but this guy is very intelligent, and I watched him grow over the years from a kid, 19 years old. What are you now, 50?
Be 50 next year. I just turned 49.
49 years old. I'm 53. I'm 4 years older than him. But this man has so much game. And when I say game, I'm not talking about games. And he has so much intelligence. He reads a lot. And he has a lot of intelligence for these youngsters out here. So we're going to do a 2. But I do want you guys, do you have a Cash App, Rob Dog?
Yes, sir.
I want you to tell the people your Cash App right now.
It's Mr. Supa Cuz, capital M, little R, capital S, UPA, capital CUZZ.
Now, if you guys want to get his Mary Jane Moonshine, I haven't tasted it, but I've heard people that have, and I've seen Ice Cube promoting this shit with him. So if Ice Cube thinks this is something special, it is. And I don't understand why this shit ain't in these cannabis. I'm connected with some cannabis clubs. I was trying to open one in Dallas, Texas last year, and that was my passion, but I'm not doing that no more.
I'm just gonna say you got my phone number. Sound like you need to reach out and touch someone. Call me, cuz.
I love you, my dude. I respect you, and I am gonna call you like in 10 minutes. I gotta shut this down. My actual editor's in Reno right now, so all my stuff is live and it's not being edited. This is a live conversation. We don't even do pre-interviews on the Prison Yard TV.
Okay, that's lovely for me. Hey, like I tell everything is nothing. I'm authentic as it gets.
Oh, we know. We open books to everybody.
Period.
If anyone wants this married, I'm trying to promote this for him, and I'm gonna promote it because I got a few connections I can hook him up with in Sacramento and in Vallejo. And in Fairfield right now. So Rob Dog, good luck, homie. You'll be hearing from me in 10 minutes. I gotta ask you something.
Yes, sir.
And I only asked for four people that I interviewed this, and I'm over my time, and I don't care. This question is very important for the youngsters out there. At 49 years old, and what you and I've been through, what would you tell the 12-year-old Rob Dog at 49 years old?
Honestly, the 12-year-old Rob Dog, don't lie. Don't expect nothing. And don't be afraid to love. That'd be the 3 things I tell myself.
Don't be afraid to love. Damn, that was deep. That was real deep. Damn, you just
if you can't fight for love, you might as well not fight for nothing. So that's what I choose to fight for now. I'm love's warrior, because the only thing to defend us from bad shit is people like us.
Yeah. And I've heard a lot of people in my life, and I'm sure you have too, on our journeys, being away from our family. I don't want to get into that right now. You just touched me right now with that answer, man. And I respect that answer. I've asked for people that, and their answers weren't nowhere near as touching as yours. I thought about the question myself, bro. And it's so many answers to that questions, but I don't want to get into that. I'm going to answer that question on someone's platform next week. But I appreciate you, bro. I'm going to be tapping in, and I love you. Respect
love you too, bro.
And man, that just that answer just messed me up right now, bro. All right, we're gonna close now. If you guys already haven't hit that like button, I'm trying not to tear up right now. If you guys haven't already hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and please support this guy's Mary Jane Moon. If you guys like cannabis and you guys don't like to smoke like me going down, I smoke cigarettes. He smokes weed.
Man, put that shit up.
And yeah, I like taking gummies. I like taking edibles. So I am going down there.
I need my ices, the pops, Mary Jane Moonsicles.
Yeah, and I'm sure all my kids will love it. So I am going down there probably next week. As you guys know, in October, I'm leaving to Dallas, Texas. I'm going to Oklahoma City, and I'm going to be gone on the road. So I am going to touch bases with him, and I'm really going to promote his stuff. He deserves it. Trust me when I say this man deserves everything he got coming financially. He got $5, y'all. I got 4 kids in there grown. He got $5. So anything helps. He gave you guys his cash out. Touch his Instagram and check out his Mary Jane Moonshine. Ice Cube's behind this. See you later, viewers. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow I have Iron Mike Herzog, a Sacramaniac. I've been knowing this dude for a lot of years. He really didn't want to come on here, but I convinced him to come on here. And it's an interview you guys don't want to miss. It's tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Blessings.